Let me tell you something that stops way too many people from building wealth. The belief that you need a lot of money to start investing. Maybe you've thought it yourself. I can't invest until I make more money, or what's the point of investing if I only have a little to spare? And let me tell you right now, that kind of thinking is what keeps people broke. It's a lie. The truth is, you don't need thousands of dollars or a six-figure income to start investing. You just need to start investing. You just need to start, because here's the deal. It's not about how much money you start with. It's about how consistently you invest over time. Even small amounts, when invested wisely, can grow into something incredible thanks to one of the most powerful forces in the financial world, compound interest. And the earlier you start, the more time that interest has to work its magic.
Think about it like planting a tree. If you plant a seed today, it doesn't turn into a towering oak overnight. It takes time. But every day, that tree is growing a little taller, a little stronger, until one day it's providing shade, fruit, and beauty that lasts for generations.
That's what investing does for your money. Even if you can only plant a few seeds today, say $10, $50, or $100 a month, those small investments will grow into something far bigger over time.
And when you make investing a habit, when you commit to showing up month after month, year after year, you're building a financial forest that will provide security and freedom for the rest of your life.
But here's the key. You have to start. Don't let the size of your first step stop you from taking it, because the first step is the most important one. And let's talk about excuses for a minute, because I know they're there. Maybe you're thinking, I barely make enough to cover my bills. How am I supposed to find extra money to invest? How am I supposed to find extra money to invest? Times are tight for a lot of people, but here's the truth. You don't need to find hundreds of extra dollars to start investing. You just need to look at where your money is going and make some intentional choices. Maybe it's skipping a few takeout meals a month, or cutting back on that streaming subscription you barely use. Maybe it's putting an end to those impulse purchases that add up over time. Those small changes can free up money that you can put to work for your future. Because let me tell you, every dollar you invest today is a dollar that's going to grow and multiply over time. And every dollar you waste today is a dollar you'll wish you had later. So make the choice to start now, no matter how small. The best part is investing has never been more accessible than it is today. You don't need a broker in a fancy suit or a massive account balance to get started. There are apps and platforms that let you invest with as little as $5 or $10. Many of them offer fractional shares, so you can own a piece of big name companies without having to pay the full price of a single stock. And if you're not sure where to start, index funds and ETFs are fantastic options. They allow you to invest in a broad range of companies with just one purchase, giving you instant diversification at a low cost. The tools are there, the opportunities are there, and all you have to do is take the first step. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect amount of money to start investing. Stop believing the lie that you can't do it because you don't have enough. Instead, focus on what you do have and use it to take action today. Maybe it's $20. Maybe it's $50. Whatever it is, start small, stay consistent, and watch what happens. Because when you invest in your future, even with a little, you're building something that will grow into a lot. You plant the seeds of financial freedom, security, and opportunity. And one day you'll look back and be so glad you didn't wait. Let's make it happen.
Before you even think about putting $1 into the stock market, let me tell you the truth about investing that no one likes to talk about. You have to get your financial house in order first. You have to get your financial house in order for.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest wealth building tools out there. But if your financial foundation isn't solid, you're setting yourself up for stress, failure, and regret. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. It doesn't matter how great your plans are or how fancy the building looks. It's going to collapse because the foundation isn't strong enough to support it.
Investing works the same way. If you're carrying high interest debt, living paycheck to paycheck, or don't have an emergency fund, you're not ready to invest. And that's okay.
The key is to take care of the basics first so that when you do start investing, you can do it with confidence and stability. Let's start with debt because this is a big one. If you have consumer debt, credit cards, car loans, personal loans, you're not ready to invest yet. Why? Because the interest you're paying on that debt is likely far higher than any return you could get in the market.
Think about it. The stock market averages about a 10 return annually over the long term, but credit card debt often comes with interest rates of 18, 20, or even higher. That means for every dollar you invest, you're losing more on the other side to interest payments. You can't win that way. Paying off your debt first isn't just a smart financial move. It's the foundation of wealth building. It frees up your money so you can use it to create a future of freedom, not a future of monthly payments. Next, let's talk about your emergency fund. Life happens. Cars break down, kids get sick, jobs get lost, and unexpected expenses pop up when you least expect them. If you don't have money set aside to handle those emergencies, you're going to find yourself pulling money out of your investments, or worse, going back into debt to cover them. And let me tell you, nothing derails an investment plan faster than a financial crisis you weren't prepared for. That's why you need to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved in a separate account before you start investing. It's your safety net. It's what allows you to invest with peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happens, you've got a cushion to fall back on. And trust me, that peace of mind is priceless. Finally, let's get real about budgeting. If you don't know where your money is going every month, how are you going to know how much you can afford to invest? Budgeting isn't about restricting your freedom. It's about giving yourself the freedom to spend, save, and invest with intention. It's about making sure your priorities are in order and that your money is working for you, not slipping through your fingers. When you live on less than you make, you create margin in your life. And that margin is what gives you the ability to invest consistently, even when times are tight. Because here's the truth. Consistency is the key to successful investing. It's not about throwing a bunch of money into the market all at once. It's about showing up month after month, year after year, no matter what the market is doing. And you can't do that if your finances are a mess. So here's the plan. If you've got debt, make a commitment to get rid of it. Focus on paying it off as quickly as possible, starting with the smallest balances to build momentum and confidence.
At the same time, build your emergency fund so you're prepared for whatever life throws at you. And start tracking your spending so you can create a budget that aligns with your goals. These steps aren't glamorous, but they're powerful. They're the foundation that will support every financial decision you make from here on out. And when you do start investing, you'll do it from a place of strength, not stress. You'll be able to focus on building wealth instead of constantly playing catch up. So don't skip this step. Get your financial house in order, and then let's move forward together.
Because the best is yet to come. Let's make it happen. Now that you've laid the groundwork, paid off your debt, built your emergency fund, and created a budget, it's time to take the next step. It's time to take the next step. Choosing the right tools to invest, even with a small amount of money. Here's the good news. You don't need thousands of dollars or a Wall Street back to get started. Thanks to technology, investing has never been more accessible. You can start with as little as $5 or $10 and still build a portfolio that sets you up for success. It's not about the size of your investment. It's about getting started and staying consistent.
But here's the thing, where you put your money matters.
The tools you use can make all the difference between an investment strategy that works for you and one that works against you. So let's break it down and find the options that align with your goals. The first tool you need to know about is index funds. These are one of the simplest, most effective ways to start investing, and they're perfect for people with a small amount of money. An index fund is like a basket that holds shares from hundreds of different companies.
When you invest in an index fund, you're automatically diversifying your money across a wide range of businesses, which helps lower your risk.
Instead of betting everything on one stock, you're spreading your investment across an entire market. And the best part, index funds are affordable. They have low fees, and many platforms let you start with just a few dollars. You don't have to be a stock picking genius to make money with an index fund. All you have to do is show up, invest consistently, and let time do the rest. Next up, fractional shares. If you've ever looked at the price of a single share of a big company like Amazon or Tesla, you might have thought, I could never afford that. I could never afford that. But here's the thing. With fractional shares, you don't need to buy an entire share. You can buy a piece of one. Platforms like Robinhood, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab let you invest as little as $1 in some of the biggest, most successful companies in the world.
That means you can own a piece of companies in the world. That means you can own a piece of companies you believe in, even if you're starting small.
Fractional shares are a game changer because they make the stock market accessible to everyone, regardless of how much money you have. Another great option for beginners is eRobo Advisors. These are online platforms that use algorithms to create and manage a portfolio for you based on your goals, timeline, and risk tolerance. Think of them like a personal financial advisor, but without the high fees. Robo advisors like Betterment, Wealthfront, or Acorns are designed to take the guesswork out of investing. You don't have to worry about picking the right stocks or rebalancing your portfolio. They do it all for you. And the best part, you can start with as little as $5 or $10, and some even round up your spare change from everyday purchases to invest automatically. It's a simple hands-off way to start building wealth, even if you're brand new to investing. And let's not forget about employer-sponsored retirement accounts like a 401k or 403b. If your employer offers a retirement plan, take advantage of it, especially if they provide a match. That match is free money. Don't leave it on the table. Even if you're starting small, contributing just enough to get the full match is one of the best moves you can make. It's like giving your investment an instant boost before it even starts growing. And remember, retirement accounts come with tax advantages, which means more of your money stays invested and working for you. The key here is to start simple. Don't get overwhelmed by all the options or feel like you needed to know everything before you begin. Start with what makes sense for you, whether it's an index fund for you, whether it's an index fund, fractional shares, a robo-advisor, or your retirement account, and focus on being consistent. You're not trying to get rich overnight. You're building a habit that will pay off over time. Every dollar you invest is a step toward financial freedom, and every step you take brings you closer to your goal. So here's your action plan. Choose one tool to get started. Open an account on a platform that works for your budget and your needs. Set up automatic contributions, even if it's just $10 a week, and commit to sticking with it. Don't worry about starting small. Worry about starting. Because when you take that first step, you're not just investing money, you're investing in your future. Let's make it happen. Now that you started investing, let's talk about the secret weapon that turns small investments into big results. Compound interest. If you don't understand this concept, you're missing out on the most powerful tool in your financial toolbox. Compound interest is what takes the money you invest and helps it grow exponentially over time. It's the engine that drives your investments forward, turning even small amounts into something significant. Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world for a reason. Those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't, pay it. And let me tell you, if you're on the earning side, compound interest is like having a team of money soldiers working for you around the clock, 24/7, while you sleep, work, or enjoy your life. Here's how it works. When you invest, your money earns returns. But with compound interest, you don't just earn returns on your initial investment. You also earn returns on the returns, on the returns, on the returns you've already earned. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and progress feels slow. But as the snowball keeps rolling, it picks up more snow, gaining momentum and growing larger with every turn. Over time, that growth becomes exponential. And the longer you let it grow, the bigger it gets. That's why starting early, even with small amounts, is so important. Time is your greatest ally when it comes to compound interest. The sooner you start, the more time you give your investments to grow, and the less you'll have to contribute out of your own pocket to reach your goals.
Let's break it down with an example. Imagine you invest just $50 a month in a stock market index fund that earns an average annual return of 10. In the first year, your investment grows to about $660. Not life-changing, but it's a start.
After 10 years, that small $50 a month turns into $10,000. And if you keep going, the results get even better. After 30 years, your total contributions of $18,000 will have grown to over $113,000. That's the power of compound interest.
It takes what you put in and multiplies it over time. And if you start with more, invest more consistently, or leave it to grow even longer, the numbers only get bigger.
But here's the thing. Compound interest doesn't work overnight. It's not flashy. It's not exciting. It's slow and steady, and at first it might even feel a little boring. You won't see dramatic results in the first year or even the first few years.
But if you stick with it, if you keep investing month after month, year after year, the results will blow you away. That's why so many people miss out on this incredible tool. They give up too soon. They want instant gratification, and when they don't see immediate results, they stop investing or chase risky get-rich, quick schemes instead. Don't let that be you. Trust the process and let time do the heavy lifting. And let me be clear. Compound interest isn't just about building wealth. It's about creating options and freedom. It's about giving yourself the ability to retire with dignity, pay for your kids' education, or give generously to the causes you care about.
Every dollar you invest today is a dollar that will work for you tomorrow and for decades to come. You're not just growing your money. You're creating a legacy that will impact your family and your future in ways you can't even imagine right now. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to the long game. Don't get distracted by the short-term ups and downs of the market. Don't get discouraged if your progress feels slow at first. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep showing up, keep investing, and keep letting compound interest do its thing. Because one day you'll look back and realize that those small steps you took today turned into something extraordinary. Let's make it happen. Let's talk about something that separates successful investors from everyone else. The consistency. If you've been paying attention, you know by now that it's not about starting big. It's about starting small and staying consistent. Consistency is the key that unlocks the power of investing, especially when you're starting with a small amount of money.
But here's the problem. Most people get impatient.
They start investing expecting to see dramatic results right away, and when it doesn't happen, they give up.
They stop contributing to their accounts, or worse, they cash out and walk away thinking, what's the point? This isn't working. This isn't working. Wow. But let me tell you, the point isn't to see massive growth in a few months or even a few years. The point is to keep showing up, no matter how slow the progress seems, because that's how you win in the long run. Here's the truth. Building wealth through investing is like planting a garden. You don't plant seeds one day and expect to harvest a full crop the next. You water those seeds, tend to them, and let the sun do its work.
It's the same with your investments. Every time you contribute, even if it's just $20 or $50, you're watering the seeds of your financial future. And while it may not look like much at first, those small contributions add up.
Over time, the results compound, and that's when the magic happens. But only if you stick with it. The biggest mistake you can make is thinking that small contributions don't matter.
They do.
Every dollar invested is a dollar working for you, and the more consistently you invest, the more momentum you build. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to make investing automatic. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account every month, just like a bill you can't skip. Treat it like a non-negotiable part of your budget.
When investing becomes a habit, something you do without even thinking about it, you take emotions out of the equation. You're no longer tempted to skip a month because money feels tight or the market looks shaky. You're not waiting to time the market or jump in when things look good. You're just showing up month after month, rain or shine, and that consistency, that's what makes all the difference.
Let me give you an example of how this works. Imagine you're investing $100 a month in an index fund with an average annual return of 10s. In the first year, you've invested $1,200 and your account might grow to about $13, $20. Not exactly life-changing.
But you keep going. After 10 years, you've contributed $12,000, but your account has grown to nearly $20,000. And if you stay consistent for 30 years, that $100 a month turns into over $200,000.
That's the power of consistency and compound interest working together. You didn't need to start with a big lump sum. You just needed to keep showing up. Now, let me be real with you. Staying consistent isn't always easy. There will be times when it feels like your money isn't growing fast enough. There will be months when you're tempted to skip your investment because of an unexpected expense or a tempting purchase. There will be moments when the market drops and you wonder if you should just stop investing altogether. But those are the moments that test your commitment. Those are the moments when you have to remind yourself why you're doing this. You're not investing for today. You're investing for your future, for your freedom, for your family, and for the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're building something bigger than the challenges of the moment. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to consistency. Decide today that no matter what happens, you're going to keep showing up. Whether it's $20, $50, or $100 a month, make the decision to invest regularly and stick with it. Set up automatic contributions. Track your progress. And remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goals.
Because wealth isn't built in a day.
It's built one consistent step at a time. Let's make it happen. Now let's bring it all together and talk about the ultimate goal of investing, even with a small amount of money,
Of building a legacy. Because here's the truth. Investing isn't just about growing your money.
It's about creating options, freedom, and a future that allows you to live out your purpose and take care of the people and causes that matter most to you. It's about turning every small, consistent step you take today into a ripple effect that lasts for generations. You see, when you start investing, whether it's $10 a month, $50 a month or more, you're not just setting yourself up for financial success. You're setting up your family, your community, and even people you'll never meet to benefit from the decisions you're making right now. Think about this. Every dollar you invest is a seed you're planting not just for yourself, but for the future. One day, the work you're doing today could mean sending your kids to college without student loans. It could mean retiring with dignity and traveling the world, or maybe just spending more time with your grandkids instead of worrying about how to make ends meet. It could mean having the ability to give generously to your church, support a charity you care about, or help a struggling family member get back on their feet. And the best part?
You don't have to wait for some magical big break to start building that future. You're building it right now every time you invest, even if it's just a small amount.
But let me tell you something else. Building a legacy isn't just about money. It's about mindset. It's about teaching your kids, your grandkids, and the people around you what it means to be intentional with your finances. Imagine what could happen if you not only invest your money wisely, but also teach your children how to do the same.
Imagine the impact of showing them that wealth isn't just about having stuff. It's about having choices.
It's about living a life that reflects your values and priorities. When you model that kind of behavior, you're not just building a financial legacy. You're building a legacy of wisdom, discipline, and purpose that will outlast any dollar amount. And let's be real. This isn't just about leaving a big pile of money behind when you're gone. It's about the life you live along the way. It's about the freedom to say yes to the things that matter most and no to the things that don't.
It's about being able to look back and know that you didn't waste your resources on things that don't last. Because here's the deal. The more intentional you are with your investing today, the more options you'll have tomorrow.
And those options, they're what give you the power to create a life that's not just about survival, but about thriving, giving, and making a difference.
But here's the catch. Building a legacy takes time. It takes patience. It takes consistency. And yes, it takes faith. Faith that those small steps you're taking now, investing a little bit every month, staying the course when the market gets rough and refusing to give in to impatience will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. Because let me tell you, they will. The life you're building right now is a testament to what's possible when you take control of your finances and refuse to let excuses hold you back.
So here's my final challenge to you. Don't just invest for the sake of making money. Invest with purpose. Invest with the future in mind. Every dollar you put into the market is a vote for the life you're working toward and the legacy you want to leave behind. It doesn't matter how small you start. What matters is that you start, that you stay consistent, and that you keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Because when you invest with intention, you're not just changing your own life. You're changing the lives of everyone who comes after you. Let's make it happen.